Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 70. I love when the number goes up. We're just hitting up those 10 digits. It's a nice growth of the download queue.
Hell yeah.
We're back, your new favorite place. Talk about games, news, reviews, previews, whatever it is. Discussion. It's a wild time. It's a wild week, if you're unaware. The week of Summer Game Fest. This week will be swarmed with announcements, previews, demos, reveals, release dates. So much to cover in the time ahead. But for now, we look at what we've been doing this past week and catching up with the times. Kyle, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing pretty decent, pretty good. Was just playing Battlefront 2 on stream. Decided to hop into that, and just such a good game. It's just a quintessential. It's just Star Wars, and like, so I got stuck in supremacy mode, and I had to leave a match to do this because it just keeps going sometimes. But it's just fun. It's just a lot of fun. So it's cool to see the resurgence and have a robust player base right now. So we'll see how many more times I jump in. But it was fun to jump in for today.
I told you, I saw you on. I was like, son of a bitch. I've been playing this off and on the past couple weeks. Before even the big resurgence happened, I was in there. And now on a random Sunday, he's like, oh, it's my turn.
Yeah, I didn't know what else to stream before. I wanted to stream today. So I was like, it's downloaded, might as well.
Fair enough. It works.
Tearing it up as Yoda.
Oh, that's my go-to.
That's fun with the heal too. That heal's real crazy.
That's the one thing still. The heroes versus villains mode specifically is like the only thing I can't play still. Because that's the only one that like still feels affected by the old card system and leveling. Like it's just an absolute decimation on one side.
Yeah, my cards are like bare bones. I'm very, very low level on everything. So yeah, I think that's affecting me to a degree, but hey, it's still fun to play Star Wars.
Yeah, it's great. We got to get on this week before I'm absorbed by the Switch 2. Which we have.
Yes, you have. Talk about it.
I got it. It should still be having some stuff done for it content-wise this upcoming week. As of now, my pre-order is still set for Thursday, June 5th. Arrival by 9 a.m. This past week, I joined Reddit for the very first time. So I've been in the groups of people updating each other on progress for pre-orders, getting in the thick of it. I'm like the Wonder Pets in here. No, not Wonder Pets. Backyardigans? Yeah. Into the thick of it, Kyle.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, I still don't know where you're going with it.
Come on. So apparently, if you on the Walmart pre-order, if I had my phone, on the pre-order, you either get a little grocery bag icon or a delivery truck icon for your pre-order, which determines what kind you get. The grocery bag one means that like someone from your actual local store will be delivering it by 9 a.m. Like the local delivery. If it's the truck, that's where it's coming from, like warehouse, wherever the shit. Good luck, you're getting that next week. So as of now, I have the shopping bag. Although I was hit last night at like 11:50 p.m. an email of, you need to update your payment information because this didn't go through. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Went on and did. Immediately went to Reddit. Everyone else and their mother got this email, so I wasn't worried about it. And then at 2:30 in the morning, I received a text. Did you try doing this purchase from my card? This is a fraud detection thing. Press 1 to approve or 2 to decline. Hit the 1 when I woke up this morning. Immediately, purchase has been declined. Good luck, try again. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm on the Walmart support page. They're talking to me. They admit it's like a widely known thing. Everyone that has a pre-order is pretty much going through the same thing. So as of now, they assured me my pre-order is still set. The money will still be taken out. My card is still there. So my life is in the hands of Mario, looking down on me from his theme park chapel. If he lets me race in his world this year or not.
Man, what a roller coaster for you. I am so happy I'm not desperate for a Switch 2. I don't have a kid that is like, yeah, I want to Switch 2. I see that.
I was like, you have a kid? What do you mean?
I have a kid who's not asking for a Switch 2. She can't barely hold a backbone right now. Not her own backbone, the
Damn.
controller. That's funny. Uh, but yeah, it's like I would just be stressed about it and just like, am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get it? Like, so hey, I hope you get it because I want to see your impressions of it, and I want to see you got Mario Kart. Is that that's like the only Switch 2 specific thing outside of the Welcome Tour stuff that's coming out and that you are getting?
Yeah, I got Mario Kart. I got that Pro controller, which we talked about
Yes.
already. I saw a video. There was like 23 total launch games. Um, I almost thought about picking up Kanitsugami again. Played it on Game Pass last year. Loved the hell out of it. I've been praising that on Twitter. That's probably the best place to play that game in a pick up and go style. I've also been looking at it's not day of, but shortly after that new Fantasy Life game that everyone's playing. Girl Who Stole Time or Saved Time or whatever. I've been looking at that as like the next second pickup afterwards. Let the wallet recoup a little bit first.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, yeah. It'll be cool. It'll be awesome. We were talking right before you recording. I'm going to IGN Live this year. That'll be fun again. And I'll have a Switch 2 there. So hopefully, by next Sunday, we'll both have touched and held a Switch 2 in our hands and be able to just talk about it. Of course, you owning the system, but exciting times, Hey, this is be our first console coverage. We gotta that is true. This is the first for us. That's
It's
so
wild.
exciting.
It's wild to think about. Like it feels like it snuck up on us. Like
Oh yeah.
obviously there's stuff where we're delaying pre-orders and stuff, but like the window in between, I'm like, oh damn, this is happening this week. I'm like looking at the calendar upstairs. I'm like, oh, this is days away.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's because the Switch 2 is more of a sequel, more of a iteration than anything. They want to sell it as a new console. It's a new thing. I'm like, you're really just hurting own your own fans by like not trying to get everything. It just is an iteration. Like as much as they're gonna push its own thing, that seems more of like a money grab and just to move on because the Switch was 10 years old. But what uh Mario Kart World was originally a Switch 1 game, It
Yep.
was developed for that and then they put it over the Switch 2. So I don't know. I think that might be the lead up to like feeling like, it's like cool. Like I think we know what we're getting. It's just a better Switch. So as much as Nintendo's like, it's a new console, it's like, no, it's just a better Switch, and that's okay. I think that's okay. But you saying it kind of snuck up on us, I think it's just, once they told us what it was like, cool. It's what we thought.
Yeah, and it's not they're doing like Metroid Prime is still on a Switch 1 game this year. Like it's not exclusive to
Yeah.
Switch 2, so they're still doing multi-platform. If you will take over here one sec, I
Oh
have
yeah.
to answer a call. Sorry.
You know what? The freaking GameCube though
Maintenance.
isn't. I know that I don't understand Nintendo's decisions to like put certain things on
Yeah. Is it for
Nintendo
125?
like Switch 2. I know what is it?
Yeah.
I'm pulling up info now that I'm vamping.
Yeah, I can.
But yeah, they're putting Nintendo GameCube classics like they have on there online right now, but that's only coming to Switch 2. That's a bummer, right? It just feels more as I don't feel as if Nintendo has been forced into
Yeah, I can do that fast.
needing a new console, right? I think it's more of them
Okay.
also choosing, hey,
Yep.
let's do a new console. Let's be able to double dip. Let's do this. Let's get some money. And we're choosing not to have backwards compatibility as much. So, like, is the Switch One really not able to run the emulation for Nintendo GameCube classics? Really? Like, it can run like some games off cloud. So it's just a choice, right? It's just they don't make consumer friendly decisions sometimes. As I'm ranting, I think what I'm trying to say is I don't feel the hype for the Switch 2 is that crazy. And I think ultimately it's going to be I think it's just going to be a normal selling console. I don't think it's going to sell gangbusters for the economic stuff. And also because of these decisions where once the hardcore get into it, I don't know if I had multiple kids, we're sticking with what we got and we can wait a good chunk of change here.
See, that was going to be my next question. I'm back, by the way. Because there's been a lot this week of people bringing up when the Switch 1 came out and how a lot of people thought it was gonna be kind of a failing thing, and then just completely blew up, and I feel like that's kinda happening again, but is it actually gonna happen this time? Is it gonna follow the Nintendo thing of success, failure, back and forth type? But again, with the changing industry, with finances being the way they are, with the economy being the way they are, like, it's stuff now that's outside of Nintendo's hands. So it'll be up to them for software side and nailing a lineup again that brings people in.
Mhm. Yeah, I think they have a longer tail on this in a launch window sense, and I don't think I know their estimation was what 15 million, 20 million for this to sell pretty quickly. That seems like crazy to me, but maybe I'm just very, very wrong. But yeah, I could just see it being more over the course. Yeah, this does start to sell a lot, but I think for a lot of people, there's no reason to jump up right now because kind of how I feel. But it'll be exciting to get your hands on it. You're getting one. We'll see if the screen, the Joy-Con, like, is it really like, oh yeah, this is an upgrade that is worthwhile, or hey, you're not down right away on it, you can wait. We'll see.
Yeah, which that will be nice because I am one of the people that haven't upgraded to a Switch OLED. Like, I'm still racking my day one.
Oh,
I never got an upgrade, so it will be an actual base Switch jump up to the new console for me
yeah, that's great. That's a big jump. Yeah, yeah, that'll be fun. Oh, next Sunday, hopefully.
next Sunday. Which we got to figure out when we're doing a show with showcase and stuff happening for Xbox too. It's going to be a busy, busy day.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, we'll have to lock down exactly what that looks like.
Down. Again, that's for next week. We're looking at this week. We are zooming into the news. Couple things, couple games to talk about, some discussions to be had. Before we officially get started, I would like to officially just say Happy Pride Month for everyone that's celebrating. It's June 1st. Hanging out with you guys, supporting you, love you all. And huge thanks to everyone last week for our game showcase predictions episode, for being one of our highest viewed things on single platforms across YouTube so far. I was hoping we'd get 100 on YouTube. We're just shy of it still. If you haven't looked at it yet, go check it out. I have been advertising it like a shameless whore on Twitter. Show us the love. It was a great episode, even though some of the things are already kind of kicked out of the running before we even had a chance to start. But it
Not one of
was
mine.
eh,
One of mine's confirmed almost.
confirmed. Yeah, we'll get
Thank
into
you, Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. So yeah, huge thanks to everyone who's checked that out. It's seen, it is acknowledged, it is appreciated. We appreciate it, and the more views helps us do cooler, bigger things and set more fun stuff up like that in the future. So yeah, Splinter Cell. Jump into it.
Yeah,
Ubisoft on Twitter, casual, just hey, you up here, Splinter Cell text. Like what?
yeah, I'm pulling it up. Oh, it's in our Discord. I can just click that link. Silly me.
They're playing with our emotions. This has been like the running meme for the past like 4 years for Ubisoft. And every time there's like, yeah, maybe we'll think about it, but Assassin's Creed. What's that? You want that Black Flag remaster first? Nah, nerds. We want
No.
Sam Fisher back, please.
Yeah. No, it looks weird. The image they posted, I'm like, this looks like a Fortnite X Defiant type skin, right? Like, and it's hey, Sam Fisher's here, but who knows? Hopefully, it is the remake, right? In our predictions, I said I wanted a Splinter Cell remake reboot a la God of War 2016. Sam Fisher's passing the torch. You could put him in the chair. He's doing the voice for the Netflix show. Let him do one last ride in a game. But yeah, so we're getting something Splinter Cell. What are the odds that we're going to be disappointed by this? Do you think it's
100%.
like, you think we're going to be 100% disappointed?
It's Ubisoft
Is
just
that even Sam Fisher, right? Like, this could be someone. Oh, yeah. There's so many things this could be. It's, yeah.
I'm just saying,
It leaves it open to being sad.
it's been like 4 or 3 years since the Prince of Persia remake was done, and that's still just AWOL hasn't been seen since pushed down. Like, if this is we're announcing this now, you're not gonna hear about this for another 2 or 3 years. Like, they're not ready for this. They're just building hype. Which again, no showcase from Ubisoft. So this is
Hmm.
showing up somewhere. Is it gonna be Friday, or is it gonna be on that green stage? Green lights kicking off, like you said. Hmm.
Yeah, it's probably that one, but it's probably both. A little tease at Jeff, and then the big reveal maybe at Xbox game. Depending on how far along they are, but we'll see. Yeah,
It's
that's our
exciting.
first bit of news. Like little
What's
leak, not leak, tease.
Yeah, I want to kind of jump off that though, because we did also get this week, for Summer Game Fest specifically, the first round of partners that will be there with something. And there's a couple in here that I am very, very excited about. Um, Towards the bottom specifically, I would like to point out Yacht Club Games is going to be here. Shovel Knight creators, which original Shovel Knight was the only one I've touched. They've done a bunch of like spin-off stuff since then that I haven't been really interested in. Just kind of building on that world, but just a new Yacht Club anything, I am entirely down for. Square Enix is also here. Please, Jeff, give me Kingdom Hearts 4. Give For the love of God, give me Kingdom Hearts 4. I'll give you all my money. Blue House is back. They were last year, I think it was this, or was it Gamescom? They announced like 3 or 4 games at once with their different genre horror things. So, couple surprises, couple things I'm happy to see, couple names I'll excitedly wait for Friday. And Switch is there. Give me the more Switch games to buy right away. Oh, you're muted.
I expect a lot of games to start being announced for Switch as well, like for this fall. I don't know which ones, but we have yet an Xbox. Like that's probably going to come up in more conversations later. But it's just fascinating, right? But I expect to get hard dates for a good couple of indies, double A quote, triple A games that are coming out.
See, I think it's going to be more than people are expecting. I'm
For Switch
fully
specifically or in general?
In general, I fully think now that the GTA train's been delayed, like there will be an abnormal amount of announcements and launches this year than people are used to. I really, really think that people were holding back, and now it's going to be kind of rush and go time to the end of the year. And this year, more than ever, that Fallout 4 moment of, hey, here's our game that's out in November is going to be a norm for 2025. Or I'm just getting my hopes up and I'm going to look like a fool when this is all
Yeah.
said and done.
No, I think it could go either way there. I think the bigger studios will probably, yeah, definitely plant their flag. They don't need to be worried. Other games can confidently say early fall, late fall, knowing, hey, we're going to let the big players like Xbox plant their flags and then we'll jump around there. So I think we are in the next week or two, in month, a lot of games are going to get dates for sure. Either way, that'll be good stuff, right?
There will be good stuff. Um, Not on this first wave of studios for Summer Game Fest. People Can Fly
Yes.
have nowhere. Wait, round one. There's still a chance somewhere to show up, but they have also announced this week that they have canceled two projects, I believe. Kyle is disconnected. I'll continue this till then. But they have canceled 2 projects, Project Gemini and Project Bifrost for the time being. Also, we'll be dealing with a wave of layoffs following that, but they still have, I assume, helping develop Gears of War E-Day, and I believe they have a Sony project that they are also helping develop as well. And so those, for now, are also both still in the running while we get Kyle back in here. He's alive. Camera's
Hello.
back on. We can see you. We can hear you.
Sorry about that. My Discord froze. Yeah, this was a bummer to see. I didn't like finish Outriders. I didn't get deep into it, but I really loved what Outriders was doing, and it put the studio like on the map for me. And I like this. I saw they had a Sony thing. They had I'm pretty sure they also had an Xbox thing that they were doing. So it's interesting. I wonder what what publisher did not present them the draft and like all that stuff, so they had to back out and such. That's a bummer. So I hope this doesn't mean the studio will ultimately just kind of slow down and eventually not be around anymore. But you hate to see this stuff. I wonder if we'll get more. I wonder how soon the Bloomberg report will come out with more details. But it's fascinating. It's just a bummer.
Yeah, looking at their stuff here, the Xbox project they've been a Gears of War studio, a support studio essentially. Did Judgment back on 360 and they were
Okay.
supporting for E-Day. They also have a Project Delta, which is the Sony game based on a established Sony IP. And they have Project Echo, which is being published by Krafton, which I believe is that new studio, or not new studio, but the company that purchased oh god, Xbox Rhythm game last year that they closed right after. Uh Tango
Tango Game
Gameworks.
Works.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Krafton's the one who acquired them, so they're doing a game under that establishment. And then a Project Bison, which is a VR game, is also still in the works from them. So multiple projects still out of the two they also canceled. So something to look forward to still. Which yeah, they've never been Bulletstorm, I think, is the only game of theirs I've ever played back on 360. Like I missed the Outriders bus when that happened a couple
Okay.
years back. So it's been kind of I've been aware of their existence, but have not actually dove into their catalog.
Yeah, same. Just interesting. Hope for the best. Of course, people got laid off as a result of this, and that is sad. That's a bummer. And it adds more to that number of continues to rise.
Every month, every week, every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Yep.
Kyle, this week
Yes.
you finally join the rest of the world in finishing Expedition 33.
Yes, yes, yes.
How are you feeling? Are you in love? Is this your game of the year, game of the generation? Are you joining in the train of hype
Um,
for those who come after?
yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. This game is fantastic. The biggest issue for me was Act 2 or the beginning of Act 3. It just really does feel like a wall. Um, Narratively, I love it. I love how they kind of took the game mechanic of an open world game. Before I go do the final boss, I'm going to go do everything in the world. They made that kind of justifiable in a narrative sense too to me. And I was like, that's really cool. Like, I dig that. I like the Act 1 to 2 to 3 structure. Each narrative beat at the end of those are really strong, and I like it. But I definitely slowed down, and it took me a while to beat the game because I just was like, whatever. I was definitely over leveled, and I didn't need to wait. But I put down the difficulty just so I could get through the end of the story. And what a beautiful story. I thought it was amazing. I think it's a very good story that has a lot of depth to it, that has characters that challenge you, and there's a lot of just dealing with grief and life, and it's right there in your face. But given the world set up from the very beginning, you kind of get it and you understand. And I think having that start so strong with the way Gustav loses Sophia, or Sophie, and you just kind of are in it as well, and then you know what's happening. It brings you along beautifully, and this is a game I love. Yeah, I want to go. I want to start New Game Plus. I'm giving it some time just so I could go back to it a little later, but also enjoy it even more. But yeah, man, this world is great. The soundtrack is on repeat a lot. The music is phenomenal. It's crazy that they just stumbled across the composer, and yeah, I don't know how this doesn't win this year's music stuff at Game of the Year. For me personally, it is definitely a contender, if not going to be the Game of the Year for me. From the combat, like I was playing Persona 3, and we'll talk a little later. And it's like every time I'd attack and then the enemy would attack, I would get ready and I'm like, oh, I don't have to do anything. Like Expedition 33 has really changed how turn-based games are gonna be for a lot of people, right? And I think for some people that will be a hard line of, oh, I don't play turn-based games unless they do this thing that Expedition 33 did, and that's crazy, and that's an awesome success for them. Yeah, I love it.
Have you seen I've started getting, not to take away from his work, I just find it funny, but people have started, like, finding songs that the composer, like, took inspiration from for a lot of the songs in this. Like, the main, like,
Mm.
"do do 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 do," like, the first song in Lumiere that plays is just, like, the exact copy of Route 1 from Pokemon Red and Blue, just slowed down.
Oh yeah,
Like, the beats are like, "Oh, that's why." I'm like, "I like this song." Um, I'm also gonna say right now, probably spoilers from here on out, because I need to talk about some stuff. If
yeah.
you
I
have
just
not
wanted to, yeah.
beat the
I
game,
stayed pretty fair.
yeah, if you have not beat the game, tune out for a couple minutes, we'll let you know. Which ending did you go with? I went with Verso. At the end, you're
Ah,
given
damn.
2. Did you also go with Verso?
Yeah,
God damn it.
I know I wanted different ones, but that's okay. It's okay. We'll explain.
We're too similar. Um, I did go
Mm.
back. If you have you watched I went back and watched Mael's after the fact. Um, so I can kind of
No, I have
talk about
not.
it. But you're really given at the end to pick either between Mael, who has established herself and wants this world in the painting to continue to exist and be away from her issues in the real world, and the people that are living in the painting who may or may not have sentience outside of living here continue to exist, or shut the whole thing down. People need to learn to grieve type verso ending, which I felt okay with. Um, the weird it's when I sat and thought about it, which I didn't thought think I was actually going through the game. I was very much rushing through the story, taking the beats as they come. But when it gives you that option, I really like actually stopped to think about what I wanted to do. And it becomes a weird thing of, like I said, the painting exists. Like there's actual living ideas and thoughts and families and life existing within this world, but it doesn't exist. It's like an AI almost representation of things that shouldn't be but are, and how you take that and how people should grieve. Um, which is why I went to watch the other video right away, because I was very curious to see what the difference is. Which I would say our ending is the good ending, quote unquote. Like this is the good job, you did it type thing. Because Mael's ends very dark and twisted and again not quite right, which fits the vibes of what I was thinking at the end. Muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
um. Yeah, we ended up, me and my wife, we ended up doing that one. I think you could have had the same result be for either one, honestly, but it's interesting to know that like my male ended up a little darker. I am right at that fight, ready to go do it and choose Mael again, so I could see like a replay. I just have to get. I thought, I don't know, it's real interesting what like it's setting up. Like at the end of the day, it's Verso and as that person saying I'm tired, and then the kid I'm tired, and it's like yeah, like if choosing Mael and choosing to stick with that, choosing to keep the painting alive, that's still holding on to something, even though you know you got to let it go. And I think it makes sense that Mael, now hearing that the ending's a little sadder, so or darker, it's like, okay, so they really wanted this game is kind of how I'm taking it, is about grief and letting it go when you are ready, but knowing no matter what, tomorrow comes and you have to let go. Right. And that's it's a beautiful damn story and a beautiful lesson, I think. Um, that lands for me. Yeah. I'm happy I did go with Verso, not seeing Mail, just hearing it. Because I think reflecting upon in the moment I didn't love like the Verso stuff. It was like, damn, but I think that's the point. It's yeah, he's dead. Like he's not alive. This guy that we as the player have known and seen, he doesn't exist. Even the little boy who is the Versa, the last soul of Versa, we never know this guy. So even if we're choosing to like keep him around, it's like, ah, that's fucked up too, right?
Hmm.
It's we don't know him, so yeah, choosing to like, no, I'm gonna let this. He gets it. He's like, no, no, this is silly. We're all tired. You're keeping me alive as this echo, as this hollow thing. It's just a very, very good story.
Did you stick with your original group of three that you were using through the whole thing? Like, did that have any effect on your ending that you picked or why you decided?
It didn't have any story ramifications. I ended up doing all side quests, and I'm pretty sure I maxed out everyone's relationship. I might have. I didn't get. I don't think there's an achievement for all of them. If there is, then I didn't.
I think just
But
individually there is.
that's what I thought. Okay. So I maxed them all out, and I love each individual side story and stuff. I messed with Steel a little bit when I was doing those side stuff and leveling, but he was like 7 levels under, and I was like I just want to be done with the game because it was just hanging over me. But
Um,
I when I as I want to do New Game Plus, and I want to use Seal and Minoko as soon as I get them, just to get like just to see them and play with them longer and see if I like can understand their kit. I just didn't play enough with them, so they felt weak to me.
did you get the representation or like understand who Minoko was in the real world?
Yes, but it's like I'm not like recalling it right now.
So
So I
that's
feel like I did.
that's what got me unexpectedly. I made a comment about it a couple weeks ago when I was talking about it. Um, one of the times when you go back to like the manor in the painting, in front of the fireplace is a little dog bed, and when you interact with the dog's name is Minoko, so it's like Verso's dog childhood dog, and that's why they're such best friends, and why he has, like,
Missed
an
that.
fixation with, legs, and that's how he gets his skill because he wants to chew on people's legs. So I was like, "God damn it."
Yeah,
Which that's when I'm like
yeah.
I went with him anyways. I said he was one of my main 3 in my party. I'm like, "Ah, that feels right. That feels good for me." I was super happy with that decision for me. Came around.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I didn't yeah, so I did not know that, but that's cool.
That's good.
Yeah, no, I knew the Noko stuff. That's I think what I thought, what I brought up.
Also a dog. They had 2 dogs. Noko was a
Well,
smaller,
that
like,
makes
the
sense.
baby dog.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. It's just a reflection of yeah, it's just a world that they recreated, and now this family is in there grieving and not letting it go, letting
Mhm.
go the death of their son. Just so good. Anything else about the story? Because I want to talk about what the hell they are they going anywhere with this beyond?
S
Do we get a Claire Obscure something, or is this just like a weird world wink? Yeah, there's this war of painters and writers, but we're not actually gonna. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's where it's weird. Because at first I was like early on, I'm like, "They're making a world out of this. They want this to be a franchise type thing." Like, they're setting it up. But with the confines of the story and what it does, I almost find it hard to unless they branch out into that the war with the writers and stuff, which is very loosely hinted at or like directly spoken of in some cutscenes and text. So like they're leaving trails there to return to it further on. I could see them being the type of people who are like, "Hey, here's our next game. Doesn't have Claire Obscure in it anywhere." And then towards the end, there's some twist that like brings it back around. And like, that's what I can see them doing with this. Muted.
Damn it. Thank you. I'm gonna
Stop
put
drinking
the
water.
button like right in my face on my screen. Okay. Um it'll be yeah, I want them to explore it. I'm trying to remember my point. I apologize. Yeah, when I lost it.
Damn it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think people would be upset if they didn't, though. If this was just a one-off thing, I
Mm.
think already with the rate people are talking about this and have such adoration for the studio. I think they kind of earned their keep to go off and do whatever. Or if this does become we're gonna do a game or two in between and then return to it type thing. I truly think they
Yeah.
can really do no wrong with where they want to go for the fans right now.
Yeah, it's theirs to lose, right? And hopefully they don't, right? um, yeah, it'll be because the story is so narratively focused on a family and the effects of the war going on. How do you do a sequel to that? They just are over it and they get through it. It's like, nah. It'd be interesting if they do from another family's perspective, the writers' side of it, and then the reveal. Yeah, so not called, or maybe it is called Clay Obscure, but then it's the writers' point of view. It's that family, and it's like, oh shit, this is the other side of the war. Not that we see it, but it's a whole other world. Because yeah, these painters and writers, they can create anything they want within these camp. Or we don't know what the writers are. It's probably a scroll, because it would be different,
An
right? Or the
Elder
parchment.
Scroll.
Oh shit! Damn, connected. This is the real Elder Scrolls Get 6. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, there's thematically, there's a lot they can do, and such. So yeah, I hope. I don't know. It could be Final Fantasy-esque where yeah, it's just different aspects of the war. I know, like, the mom of the family was the head paintress, so like they had like status. But you totally could just do another offshoot where it's another family somewhere else and a later part in this war. And through these games, which have their own story, own contained thing, just like Final Fantasy does, there's this overarching thing of what the hell is this war between the painters and the writers? And we just, each game, we get little tidbits. That'd be cool. That sounds intense, but
Make it happen.
yeah. Danval, I am available for hiring. I can sketch this out for you with my.
We're just sign up for all the jobs. I will say when you brought up when you first started talking about it, Act 3 being a brick wall, kind of.
Oh yeah.
The thing I said that I finally realized that helped me get through it, there's literally no reason to have any sort of points in defense or speed. Because if you get hit, you're just dead anyways if you don't parry your guard right. So I just realized I was like, I'm taking all the points out and I'm just maxing strength and health on every single character. And that's literally like was a game changer for my end game. I went through like 3 or
Interesting.
4 floors of the endless tower for grinding with that. And I returned to the final area and cleared it in one go. I'm like, oh, this felt kind of off. It's not to like the
Yeah.
scale of like the multi-million dollar damage thing that everyone's doing online, like these game-breaking builds and stuff. But I'm like, that was the thing that I needed to get me through the end, was just restatting everybody
Mm.
differently.
That's interesting. I wonder if that was my issue. I just scaled whatever weapon I was using, like whatever it was, like A and B grade, whatever stat that person's weapon had. I just dumped it into the highest one because it started scaling all those things. So once I got enough points where one was maxed out and I was in the 30s, extra points of that, I could dump them everywhere else. I don't know. I thought that system kind of lacked because once I was like, oh, if I just dump it all into the highest attribute that scales with my weapon, I'm fine. So every now and then I had to respec it if I changed my weapon, but I didn't change the weapons that often. I kind of stuck with the
Yeah.
weapons I had. So yeah, that system kind of felt a little lacking to me. Once I felt, it sounds like you too. Once you made a decision, it was like, oh, this is it. I'm done. Which, hey, it is what it is. I guess it's good to know that I felt like you had to follow the weapon scaling. You did not. So
It's, to be
that's, I
honest,
guess, it's a plus.
the
You didn't
weapon
notice it.
scaling, the ABC thing, I didn't even realize that was the thing till after I beat the game. And I saw a TikTok
Yeah.
about it. I'm like, oh, that's what that meant. I would notice when I was doing skills
Elden
initially,
Ring
like,
taught me that.
yeah, I noticed I'd be like, oh, I put a skill in this that gives a bonus up here. I didn't put 2 and 2 together the whole time. So I just
That makes sense.
toughed it through.
Yeah. Hey, but still, it worked. So that may explain why it was so hard for you, though.
It definitely, yeah.
Your stats are all messed up. Yeah, but the game doesn't, it's their first thing. So it doesn't teach you that enough where there's a lot of systems. Like there's that, which is I know that from Elden Ring, which is a very different game than a lot of games, right? Especially that system of the scaling with your stats and your weapon, whatever you have equipped. The Lumina Picto system, like I thought was really cool, except I felt like to get the full breadth of it, you really want to grind and get more Lumina points, which I was like, all right, that's cool. But they're hit a point where you want the painted one where you can do above max damage, and then
Yep.
there's cheater, which you can do 2 times in a row. So I'm like, okay, so I'm like, I kind of have to do this. Like, man, I really want to grind more Pictos. And again, Act 3 hitting a grind point, I was kind of done with it with that. So like those are like some gripes, but the reliance on parry and dodging, I didn't find any issue with, because if I missed a parry later in the game, I didn't instantly die, and if I did, I was like, oh, this enemy's over, like I'm weak, and that kind of was consistent across the game. But if I missed a parry and I didn't die right away, I just started dodging, and the dodge was so forgiving to me. Like it just is what it is. I didn't like when you miss one parry after hitting like all 7 of them. And then, all right, well, no counter. I'm like, oh, damn it, just because I missed the one. And I know the attack you're doing too. It's like, I just missed it. Damn.
Which that again is another thing where looking back at it now, um, dodging I never did. I was so hard headed is I'm gonna parry the shit out of this game and nothing else. Which again, it was, oh, you messed up the once or twice, dead, restart. And I just never dodged. Because in
Well,
my
see, I
mind,
relied on the dodge because it taught me the parry.
yeah,
And then you were able to learn the fights, and then you actually stayed alive longer, especially in the fights that I was a little under leveled for. Just dodging and I'm learning the attacks, and then I'm able to counter because it does. I know earlier episode you mentioned that the reliance on the parry you didn't like, right?
yeah,
And it
still.
does feel like with the countering and all that, it does feel like there is a reliance on the parry for certain enemies. But again, I think it's just your mileage will vary on if you hit it or if you don't, and if you want to grind through. Because some bosses sucked when you couldn't hit the parry or you couldn't hit the dodge and you just died. It's like, all right, I gotta walk all the way back in just to get hit in the second or third hit, and I'm dead again. And
Did you do the optional one that requires like 24 in a row or something, that like the bouncy one? There's
no,
one
I
boss
didn't see that
where
one.
it's on the overworld.
I saw it on like social media. Yeah, it's just constant. Dum, dum, dum,
Yeah,
dum,
like
dum.
his first turn it's just one, second turn two, third turn three, and like
Hell
he
yeah.
instantly dies if it's 24 or 23 you do in a row. It's like, that's cool. That I like, or it's kind of gimmicky and like a fun thing, but yeah, or it's some of the other optional end bosses I've seen, like, absolutely not. I have no intention of even wanting to learn.
Yeah, I think I also got frustrated with the end screen. Like when you would die, it's just like it took so long. I'm like, all right, I just want to retry this. Like, let's go. And it's like, do you want to send reserve team? I'm like, no, they're just gonna
Just
die right
yeah.
away. Like, let me get back in. And that's sometimes like got me to the spot of I'm just gonna play this again later. I'll do this tomorrow, whatever. So it felt like it was between like, hey, we have these Soulsborne mechanics. Like we want you got to find the rhythm of these attacks, and then you'll be fine once you know it. But get back into the fight sometimes was like, all right, this is a little too much.
Which again is just little
Nitpick.
nuances that
Yeah.
doesn't make me hate the game. Like, I still appreciate it for what it was. I'm not high on it like everyone else is, but it's first project, things are gonna be ironed out, mini map type stuff, like just the
Oh,
little
I got a mini
issues
map.
that fix out next time.
Yeah.
We'll appreciate it. Quality of life, please.
hmm Yeah, these issues are so small. I love it. It'll be interesting. I bet it will be in my game of the year discussion. Most likely top 10. Like, yeah, I haven't beaten many turn-based games and fallen in love with a story like this.
I'll be interested in a couple weeks. This yesterday, I don't have anything really to say on it yet, but coming off of Expedition and that style of turn-based stuff, I started Metaphor yesterday finally.
Mhm.
So coming off of that, kind of back to back how I feel, and my love hate with Persona and being brick wall and that, I'll curious to see where Metaphor falls for me later on in the year, but
Yeah, this is gonna be a year of turn-based for me because, like, yeah, they put Metaphor into Game Pass. That's crazy. I wish I would have beaten Persona 3 already, but now I'm playing Persona 3 again because I got it. I want to know. how it ends. Like I'm invested enough. I'm like, ah, shit, I'm only like 22 hours in.
You may or may have Persona 4 now this month. Who knows?
I would go straight to Metaphor. I don't think I'm going to replay all the I think Persona 3 will be my first Persona. I'm going to play Metaphor, and when Persona 6 comes out, we'll talk about it. We'll
Circle
talk
back
about
around.
it. Yeah.
Real quick before we head into the biggest topic, kind of. Do you want to talk about 2 a T? Another Game
The
Pass,
main, the
another
main event.
Game Pass edition this week that I saw
Yeah.
reminded me of a QWOP style game. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Enlighten
To a
me.
T. Um, I was listening to the Besties podcast, so shout out to them. But they kind of, I didn't realize who the developer of this game was, and someone cool. So let me, they make other games. To a T, I'm trying to find like the
No, you're good.
description of it, and I keep pressing wrong buttons. All right, To a T is an episodic 3D adventure game developed by Kita Takahashi. Now that name they have made. Oh, where'd the games go? Sorry, my page reloaded.
Oh, I
They've made
just
a
saw it,
couple.
and I'm excited now.
Yeah, they've made a couple puzzle games and other stuff in the past that the Besties podcast, McElroy Brothers and Plant, other guy, they were talking. They just kept referencing the developer as someone. They're like, oh yeah, like he makes these type of games. So I never knew him, but just saw this game. It looked cute. It looked adorable, and it's dropped in the Game Pass. You play a teen whose arms are stuck in a T pose, and the game is just you walking around this town doing normal, ordinary stuff. You got to wake up. You got to brush your teeth. You got to eat breakfast, and you have to grab the milk in a T pose, lean over, pick it up, pour it, and do all that stuff. So it's a very basic task you're doing. But it opens with a sitcom style song, like a theme song for a show. Yeah, you are the perfect shape, and it's all about you are the perfect shape. It has a chorus that follows you around and does silly things. You can spin really fast and fly because you're in a T pose. It's just like really adorable and cute. And right away, on my YouTube, I put episode 1 and 2, 3 playthrough up. But right away, I was like, this game is really cool for younger kids. It like the game, it teaches you to get up, what you have to do before you leave for school. You have to go pick up the thing, and because you're in a T pose, and the whole gimmick is, you can't bend your arms, so you have to like move it. Everything is very tactile. It's lean with this one and pick up the can, and then lean back with the stick, and now you have to pour it. It's very like step by step by step, and I'm like, oh, this is something that I definitely want to play in front of my daughter and with her. Not that she can hold stuff, but it just is another game that I'm like, man, games can really be a lot of things, and we keep talking. We hear all the time about these big games and Call of Duty and what it was playing. All these big AAA projects, but man, games like these really do matter because this is how people can fall in love with games, and it's a cute little thing from any age, from any ability, from any acuity you have. Like anyone can do these type of games, and I think that's really cool. So definitely give a shot to this game if you have Game Pass. Really, really cute, really fun. Yeah, that's what I have on it.
Yeah, I will be immediately downloading this when the show is done. For audio listeners, I pulled up the trailer. Takahashi, developer, as you said, creator of Katamari Damacy, which will immediately
That's what
strike a
I just.
chord with a specific group of people. And hearing you describe it, I know how this game works. I know what to expect from it. I'm so hyped. I played the shit out of Katamari on PS2. Oh, I'm
Nice.
all in.
Yeah, that's the game that the besties kept talking about, and I was like, all right, like this means something. It's something that escaped me. I never played, but it's there. But yeah, very, very fun. Also, one of the highlights, a very cute dog that you could put a bowler hat on. So,
Oh, even
game of
better.
the year.
All about it. Again, Game Pass killing it this year. Just
Dude,
absolute bangers, indies, old stuff, new
the last
stuff.
2 months,
Been wild.
it's crazy.
Uh,
You know what? I'm not playing these killer Game Pass games on.
what? What is it?
I'm not playing it on a handheld
Damn.
that's made by Microsoft.
At all this year? Shit. Yeah, no, Windows Central earlier this week, 3 days ago now. Headline reads, Xbox's first party handheld has been sidelined for now as Microsoft doubles down on Canon and Windows 11 PC gaming optimization. And the internet went mild. I honestly, was one of the more vocal people upset about this. I honestly have not seen too much from the general audience being upset about it though, which I'm like, what the fuck?
I was gonna say, man, you were the most negative on it
I
on my
was
timeline.
um trying to see here. This is what we know so far. Received clarification that the code name might be incorrect. State this is not the rumored Asus device that may or may not be still being announced this year as the third party option, but the Xbox's own first party internal handheld, which is the one we've kind of been talking about more so, the one for Steam integration and all of that. So it is the actual Microsoft developed option that has been sidelined. Um, which yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where to go with it. I get the reasoning of, hey, we don't want to take a hit on hardware right now. Tariffs are a bitch. We invest in another multi-million dollar project that isn't going to succeed or just let other people do it and market out the rights to Xbox to put on it? Probably makes a lot more sense. But for me, I was like, damn, we're just taking another step back. And I openly and said on Twitter, I made the comment, and I still fully expect I could see June, May next year roll around, and the next generation Xbox has been sidelined following this kind of announcement cadence that they're doing, which I still stand by. I will be glad to loop around next year, and it's not, but I see this being kind of the first step in, hey, we're politely, quietly backing out here.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I don't think this is that bad of a thing. Um, it reminds me of them skipping out on VR. Uh, very different VR in a handheld, very different. But I think it did serve them well to wait and ultimately not jump into VR. Uh, the Switch being what it is, we'll see when we get hands on with it, who or like how it performs Cyberpunk, right? But like if Xbox couldn't get a handheld that was going to be at minimum able to run games that are similar to what can run on the Series S, quality wise and such, like that was not going to be good, right? People were going to knock that, and if you can't do that for a price point that is good, then yeah, you got to wait. And Switch is $500 plus, and all these tariffs and shit. Like, yeah, there's just so much going on around it where 100%, I'm not surprised that they would wait on the thing. That's not surprising. It's the benefit they have of having it being open already working with third party developers who focus in on the hardware stuff, that they can go do it for them. And they can essentially continue to beta test their cloud gaming, remote play, and now a mobile slash uh, handheld UI operating slash operating system thing. Now they can keep testing that on third party devices and shit. So it's weird, it's different, but again, it's following the model of Windows and laptops and all that stuff. So will there be a Surface, an Xbox branded handheld long term? I do think so. I think it behooves them to do that. But is this the time to invest in a whole new product and hardware right now? No. And since I can on my phone access all of Game Pass library, I think Microsoft is okay saying we don't need to do this right now because we're probably going to lose money and have some issues. So we'll just wait. And that's kind of where it's not exciting. It's not fun, but
Yeah.
I don't think this also says they're going to not have a console. I think I think for Xbox, if they don't have a console, I think that is such a hard point. I don't think they're anywhere near that yet. Getting rid of the box, like what are you? Where are you then? Right? and I think they're still there. 2-3 years post this next generation, yeah, I could see it being a possibility. But for this one, I think they are locked into having a $500 to $600 to $700 premium console.
And that's kind of where, in my mind, looking at it, when I see this and we talk about 2 to 3 years from now, next gen, and then a couple weeks ago, I made the comment of I see this generation lasting longer than it probably should because of the economy, because of what's happening. I see them looking at that as kind of a free, easy out to do it now, then later. Instead of, hey, new hardware in 2 years. We're actually not going to. Economy's rough, recession, tariffs. Like, we're not going to take the bait on that anymore and just focus on this other path. I see it to them as kind of being it's good on marketing front, it's good on the PR front, it's a good excuse to use without directly throwing leadership or whoever's making these decisions under the bus. And in, yeah, 2, 3 years from now, as PS5 continues to outsell what, 4 to 1, 5 to 1 console wise, as Xbox first party games are selling hand over fist, taking over top sales charts on other platforms, I could see them looking at all that information together and being like, this is where we are now. This is what our focus is. This is how we want to deliver games without taking the internal hit for hardware.
Yeah, I just think it's like Windows. It'll be both. I just think them not producing a first party thing will then take the hardcore, which I would throw you into. It would tell it's even telling you right now, my money, I should spend it elsewhere. Like you saying I might get a PlayStation over an Xbox next generation doesn't make any sense to me personally. But currently, like the Game Pass model has allowed me and will continue to allow me to play games I would never have played or financially been able to like afford. Right. So I'm fully bought into that system and that's me, but I'm not buying all the physical stuff. So like
Yeah.
even switching consoles, like, oh yeah, no, that wouldn't that no, like that's not for me. So I kind of lost my question because I had a cough and such, so I apologize.
Okay. It's what you brought up in Discord earlier. It's really the, and I said it on predictions last week. I said it the week before, probably. Like, for me personally, where I am for, I think a lot of casual people, your people who are only Madden and Call of Duty and those one-time buyers that make up a majority of things, to them, Game Pass either doesn't matter or isn't enough. And that's where I keep being, and we've talked about it to death with cloud gaming and all these other options that, again,
Yeah.
aren't worth it to me as of now. Which, looking at, I've reading some of the Windows Central article too. Jez also said that Microsoft is also working on next gen Xbox cloud systems, which are in testing at their HQ in Redmond, which could be exciting. Like, if they get that service down, I would be like, hell yeah, that's another reason to be. This is where I want to primarily be. But as of now, it's, yeah, Game Pass is great. Played a lot of great stuff. Just download a Metaphor, download into a T after the show. But it's then the decision of, do you want those hit and miss experiences or the surprise drops matter more? Or is being able to play third party stuff and I hate even saying it as a thing, but like Sony's higher caliber of exclusives that they always Game of the Year winners, which again I don't enjoy a lot of them. I've talked about Uncharted or Last of Us, like those don't hit. But are you okay missing out on those experiences? Are you okay missing out on third party deals? Are you okay missing out on that lively ecosystem to
Mm.
be on Game Pass?
And I think the biggest thing is the economy for one thing. I think it won't matter when you can't afford to drop $70-$80 for one thing and you can drop $70, $80 and get 6 months of Game Pass. Like, I don't, and then that this also brings in the bigger conversation of, okay, what does that mean for the long term health of games? Yeah, it's a very good point. It's a very good point if we're not doing that. But I think kind of the way what you just said, it sounds more as like coming from the point of view of like what it has been. And yeah, I agree. Sure, you're going to miss out on these Game of the Year winning that everyone's talking about on the PlayStation brand. And yeah, you would in the past, but what have they done so far this year? They're totally shit in the bed.
Yeah.
We know that they're changing everything because they were going in one direction, and that's fair. It's going to take time. No one's saying hurry up. It's just like, damn, let's be realistic. What is there at the end of the day? While Xbox is game after game after game after game, third party stuff, free upgrades for old games, free cloud, like, man, I think by the time we get to like the turn of a generation by next year, I think sentiment wise, it's going to be very different for Xbox than it is in PlayStation. So they argue like, and having the argument being what was in the past, yeah, I don't think that matters because if I didn't play The Last of Us, it's on TV and on all social media. It's already spoiled for me. Before the show came out, I didn't know what happens in The Last of Us 2. I did before the end of season 1. They made their bed and laid in it, like especially season 2, the finale. I didn't watch it, but I know how it ends because of social media, and that's the cliffhanger. If I'm a fan who hadn't played the game, I'm gonna go figure out what happened. You have the whole internet who's gonna talk. You just ruin that. So, anyways, why do I have to go play the game if I have a show? Right? So, I don't know. I think they're just heading in very, very different directions. PlayStation is facing the high end. Look at us, we're also movies too because we're Sony and we're gonna make cool, but like I'm gonna have to get a $700 PlayStation 6 to play those games. I don't know.
See,
yeah, I kind of went on a tangent there. Go.
No, you're good. I forget the term we just used, but the fan perspective on Sony changing, like you said, at this point, I don't think it can / will. It
is that online sentiment or like overall common sense average
online and
person?
kind of
I
common.
think on.
Go
I
ahead.
think it's already changing. Like I think it already has, and I think you have people doubling down. But even the people doubling down in PlayStation is like, hey, hold on, this is weird. They're just doubling down on Xbox hate. Like, oh, they're canceled the handheld. It's like, hold on, like that's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Like for the Xbox direction, that actually makes sense. For PlayStation direction, canceling something like that wouldn't make sense, right? They're just going in separate things.
Yeah. But you look at Sony's side of look at the past 6-8 months with Concord, no other releases, Marathon maybe getting delayed, canceled, who knows at this point.
Oh, it should get delayed.
Not really having an output or anything to look forward to. And they still sold 18.5 million consoles fiscal year 2024, which ended May 31st.
And when you're selling to the same people over and over, that market is what it is. There's no reason to upgrade to a PS5 Pro. People are jumping into PlayStation, but the tail, I don't know. The runway is so much shorter for PlayStation 5 currently than we know. They could do a showcase in like a week and it'd be like, oh shit, never mind. I doubt that though. Like I would imagine at least one big game coming out for them this year. I think like still, I would expect a big fall thing from them, but oh wait, Yote, there it is.
Yote Death Stranding this month.
Yeah, that's not fall though. Yeah.
It's just
I don't know. I think, it's just online sentiment is one thing. What people are actually doing is another thing. And I think looking at I would feel a little more unsure about PlayStation given what they've done recently. Whereas I look at Xbox on paper, I'm like, oh, they're doing a lot of interesting moves. Though, yes, they could totally abandon the console and go totally digital with the platform. I wouldn't love that. There's so much they need to figure out before they just drop a physical thing. But when playing remote play Persona 3 on my phone with touch controls really works well. it's awesome, and I want them to figure that out. If that's they're not doing the handheld, so they can put their people on figuring out a mobile OS handheld operating system that hopefully scales between each one, because items will or objects, not items, one of my little markers, whatever the word is, they like sometimes overlap on different menus on
The,
the
like,
phone and whatnot.
tactile things to hit, like the A, B, X, Y,
In a
and
way,
stuff.
yeah, it's just like icons. That's what I was trying to say. The icons will overlap often, uh, and whatnot. So like them trying to figure that out, where I open my phone and open up remote play, open up cloud gaming, that menu looks similar to the when I open up my handheld and looks similar to my Xbox. Like I think that's what they're trying to go for. That's really cool. Figure that out, then it won't be an issue. I'm playing like I past 5 nights I've played Persona 3 through cloud gaming, not remote play, on my phone, and dude, it works. I once I every now and then it logs me out, so I have to exit and log back in. But I'm literally just playing Persona 3 natively. It feels like this, and the touch controls work. And Metaphor Refantasio has touch controls in there, and Citizen Sleeper has touch controls, and it changes the icons on the device. So A is always like grab, X is always your backpack. So it has a backpack icon there as opposed to just X. So they're like messing, like they're making the touch controls specific for each game. Like that's fucking cool. Like what I really want them to figure out is when the giant menu pops up and I see the button A, I want to physically touch it and not have to touch the control overlay, right? So sorry, I'm getting lost on that one. Um, there's a lot they could still figure out with the mobile UI, because the template's there and it works. The foundation works really well, but it's a lot of the tactile touching, the using of the stuff that I think just isn't fully figured out. But they're close. And mobile gaming, man, if I'm playing Persona 3 on my phone. That's crazy. And this is both Wi-Fi and cellular.
Which that again, that's why I brought up that thing with the Jez Windows Central article. Like if they're working on an updated version of that runs better, like hell yeah, I'll be in. And that's like it's I don't know if it's narcissistic or not of me, but when you're like, I'm more negative on this, I can see it being negative, but for me, it's a place of I want this to do better and be better than it is right now. And wanting that push forward and wanting it to be the thing to go to. Which if they cloud gaming gets better, yeah, awesome. I'm in. Because it's not even a switch to play. He's starting something up. What'd you pick? What'd you pick?
Persona.
Persona. It's not even switch to
Want to show you.
PlayStation. I even asked you last week on Discord about PC stuff. I'm like, the thought crossed my mind too. I was like, do I just invest in BPC gaming? Is that a better place to have everything and have the options available for everything? So it's a weird in between that at the end of the day for me, it's lack of messaging, it's lack of where we're going, it's I want it to be the best possible experience it can, and right now it's not. Which is why it's like next week, Sunday, like reasons, please show us the steps, show us where you're going fully, why this is the next step to go and not just kind of this generation's gimmick.
Yeah, and I think they're so quiet with a lot of things. I think that's what they're telling us, the handheld now. They leaked it, had an insider get it out. I think they do have some obviously big stuff. They want to get the other things out. If they're focusing on UI, like I hope they can show us and tell us what's going on. Last year, I talked about it last week. They told us about the mobile storefront that they're going to have, and that's coming out this July 2024. And it's like, all right, well, June
Sidelined.
2025. They
It's
didn't even
sidelined.
announce anything though. Like it was such a, if anything, it was like in a business meeting type of thing. And it was like, oh yeah, that's delayed. And it's like, all right. So I think they're waiting for the Epic Apple lawsuit stuff to go down, which is out. But yeah, I think, if they can, I want them to showcase that, because I think it's there. I just don't think they're messaging it well, which has been something we have talked about so much, is the messaging, and who
Literally a year
hasn't when you're
plus.
talking about Xbox. Like they just need to figure out the messaging, and it's there though. But the system is there. I can connect to my console and play it remotely that way, or like I just did live right now, I can play Persona 3 through the cloud, and it just works. And you have different avenues to do it. But how do you tell people that, and how do you reassure people like you that you're still going to invest in the console, which is basically the platform, right? And I think Microsoft might view Xbox as the digital platform, Game Pass, the operating system, which can be on mobile and console and PC, right? But like for you, the console is the brand. So like I get, and there's more than just you. I get people feeling like, it just comes down to messaging. Yeah, I just hope they can figure that out.
It almost
Because
makes
it
me
just like, I feel like it just feels like that's not even what we should be focusing on, obviously, but it's more of like, hey, because you're not talking about it and you haven't figured out how to tell us, or you're scared to just say it, people are just focused on what you're not saying. When if you just tell us, which you read between the lines, a lot of it's there, but nothing's confirmed. So people just get it's, yeah.
it makes me miss the days of old E3 because I watched 2012 last night or 2 nights ago, and it's like, oh, here's head of marketing to tell you about these services and things. I'm like, we need that now, and not. I appreciate the showcase being this is games, 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 games. This is what we're focusing on, but I almost would want a presentation for. At the time back then, it was speaking to investors, speaking to the people giving money, and where this is going and why this is happening. I almost want something like that for what's happening with them, which they kind of did. They did the interview with Phil and Sarah last year, and it pops up every now and then, but like, look me in my eyes, to my face, explain it to me like I'm three, hold me sweetly, please.
That is interesting. Yeah, showcases are now about building hype, not really about telling you also what's going on. Because yeah, the show isn't what it used to be for. It was for catalogers and hey, you're trying to buy stock and inventory for your department store. Come to this showcase so we can show you all the toys and all the games. Like, yeah, you're not pitching to investors of you're pitching just to consumers, which makes it just a hype, 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 hype. I don't think it would be that. I think it's likely it's just games. If they don't have anything to talk about handheld,
This year?
yeah,
Oh, 100%.
I could totally see it just game after game after game, a little talk from Bond, a little talk from Spencer,
Booty
maybe
comes
some
out, talk
develop
about
other
Bethesda.
teams. Yeah, but I don't think, yeah. Wow, that'd be fascinating. That's like a little something, not a bet, but like a side prediction, I guess, would be very fascinating because, yeah, that tells me a lot if they're just going to do games. Because last year they did games, but then they also went out into, after the week, more interviews and developers and such. But
I'll say, because yeah,
man, if they don't talk about the platform and like the digital stuff and the UI and the cloud, like if they don't talk about that, that's I'd be bummed. I know you have games cooking. You've proven it. Even if you don't have the same cadence the rest of this year, I'm still satisfied this year with what's coming. I'm just assuming. But yeah, if you don't talk about kind of your platform or brand, I would be disappointed, and that would leave messaging question up in the air.
because even that the online story you brought up, that was like a week or two later, like a Yahoo Finance or a Bloomberg interview where they just casually dropped that information. I'm like, that cool, you have it there, but like, you need to be fans. This is what we're doing. Like, I just want better.
Yeah. Maybe they actually meant July 2025, but Sarah said this July. And they're like, what? No, next. They're like, dang.
She thought it
Just,
was August. She's like, oh, I didn't mean
yeah.
to.
She's like, oh, why are we talking about it? She's like, why are we talking about it so far out? Yeah. No, same. I think overall the showcase is going to be very, very positive. I think we're going to come out being like, hell yeah, fucking Xbox.
Still hyped.
I just hope, yeah, there's not too many questions about the nitpicky stuff because that's what people love to talk about. And since we're doing this, that's what we love to talk about.
Yeah. Which I brought up in Discord. I really this week is a terrible week to do it with everything else happening. But one of the next episodes, like I want to shutting the Xbox off. I'm
Oop.
exclusive TV app doing cloud on my phone. Like, I want to do that for a week at least to see what the differences are.
You
Because I haven't messed with
you
the
should
TV app.
try. Yeah, I was gonna say you should try playing Persona or Metaphor ReFantazio through cloud gaming because it has touch controls, so it's designed for the phone. You don't need like to attach a controller to it, but you still can, of course. But you can kind of get both to it. It's turn based, so it shouldn't be like awful if it lags or anything. And it's new, so it's something relevant. But if you're playing that and you're touching it, I would pull out the phone, try it on that because yeah, it's the touch controls that really like get me like interested. I'm like, oh shit, if Microsoft can figure this out, this is really cool. Like if Microsoft use your AI instead of for other nasty, awful, horrific things, use your AI to scan like the image of a game as I'm playing it, and instead of having to use the overlay for the phone, the AI says, "Oh, this is what input we need to press because it's like a menu that has a boop. Oh, I'm in the menu of my inventory. Instead of like scrolling on the digital fucking thumbstick, let me just scroll like it's a screen." That's what you should use your AI for, Microsoft. Figure that stuff out.
Like I said, there's the vision's there. The idea's
It
there. The
is.
plan is there. It just present it better in any sort of way. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. In any way, instead of just reactionary.
I think probably wrap that up unless you got another point
No.
here, but that's been great discussion. I want I'm just being so cautious moving forward of where I'm going. Uh which we're gonna maybe find out on Sunday. Maybe find out, as we said, if not a week later in a press release, but Xbox Game Showcase as of now is 7 days from now. It'll be happening. We'll be doing reaction content, possibly, maybe. For the week ahead, for me personally, Friday, I'm calling in sick. I'm off of work. I'm not there. I will be around live streaming, reacting to Summer Game Fest right here on the channel. May or may not be joined by Kyle. He has to figure out family stuff. Saturday, I will be here live reacting to some things. I want to at least do the Wholesome Game Direct. There's some other stuff in town here that I want to attend. So if those times mix up, probably not. But the big one, Sunday, 100% will be here live 11. Oh, get that out of the way. 12 11 12 p.m. It's 11. I'm trying to think of the time changes for the showcase. Whenever the showcase goes live, we'll be here a little before. I will at least come, maybe joining us, and then doing reactions and show that night still, definitely for sure. Talk about everything that is shown off, all the games coming to us, all the announcements, all the cloud gaming and handheld stuff they're gonna give us, probably not. I can't wait though. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm expecting this year to be awkwardly bigger than people are expecting it to be across the board. There's even that rumor now, I saw floating around, Nintendo's doing a direct either this week or next week as well after the console launches. So, a lot to be excited for. It's my time of the year. This is my time. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun. I just sent you a co-stream link so you can sign up to co-stream Summer Game Fest. So we'll
Yep,
get that going. Yeah, I'll commit to Xbox for sure, and then we'll figure out others. But but yeah, I'm gonna try streaming more this week. Maybe more Battlefront with you. We gotta figure out
I'm
that
down.
down the hop in once or twice for sure. But there's a lot of games I'm trying to beat. So in games I want to start. I still gotta play this game called Despelote. So a little soccer game about childhood. Really cute. But yeah, so I'll be on Twitch, I bet, at some point this week.
Ew.
It was an odd way to say what I was trying to say.
It works. Um, Also, real quick shout out. I didn't get to talk about it here. I don't have a lot to say about it, but check out Revenge of the Savage Planet on Game Pass. Downloaded it last week, expecting it to be like an Ark style survival thing. Pleasantly surprised what it was. Exploration, capturing animals, solving weird sci-fi mysteries, and evil robots in the background. Pleasantly surprised by it. Completed it this week. Super awesome time.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Again, thank you all so much for last week's reactions to the episode. It was awesome to see and was big boost, confidence booster for us Going forward, only up from here. It's only up from here.
Yes, yes.
The fruit of the labor is finally coming to. Um, Thank you all so much. This will be uploaded as usual Monday mornings, YouTube, Twitch, not Twitch, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, all the usual places, Spotify, as it always is. We will be back here Friday, June 6th, Summer Game Fest. It's here, baby. Jeff arises from the ashes
Why is he in ashes?
because he goes into hibernation like a phoenix after Game Awards, and now he's coming back out, getting some
Got
sun.
it, got it.
I had to put that
Got it,
in because
got
it
it.
fits in with the thumbnail I already made.
That's fair, that's fair. Yeah, shout out to my PR contact for ghosting me. Maybe
Yeah.
they're ashes now. I don't want to say that
See,
about a
it's
real person.
It's because you complained about the Game Awards ticket prices last year, and they're like, "No, this guy out."
That's fair. They're like, yeah.
Fair enough. Tell Friday. Happy gaming, everyone. Exciting week ahead. Can't wait to see you all. Peace.
But